We're good. We're clever. We're smart. We use good phrase.
Glorious. No, I won't give in. I won't give in till I'm victorious. And I will defend. I will defend.
Hello and welcome to the Wrestlemania 33 review. We're here with Michael Jolly the Bear Jolly.
Hello.
Commentator extraordinaire for BWE Wrestling. General internet entrepreneur. Makes no money out of it, but
he's an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I do it for the love of the business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, we got the big dog here.
The big dog.
The big bear.
Yeah.
The true big bear.
And as always, by my side is Caron Borbin.
Hello.
Oh God.
Your usual.
Yeah.
My usual side, please.
Yeah, I'm of course main Shakhman.
Main Shakhman.
So if you wanted to say it with a Jewish inflection, main Shakhman.
Here comes the money.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah,
Here comes the money shot. Based on what we've previously talked about.
I think that's the leaks off the internet. So
Yeah.
So okay.
Covering WrestleMania 33.
The highs, the lows, the pros, the cons.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Dems, the cons, the Republicans, everybody
loves a good
Mania. I'd just like to start out by saying that it seems quite interesting that they are actually numbering them again. Because after 30, 31, 32 is WrestleMania.
Yeah, because the whole point they said was that they were going to stop with a number and just say WrestleMania, and then it'd be a star like they did with for Dallas.
Yeah, or a place sign or whatever.
Yeah.
But I wonder if it's been because Goldberg started saying WrestleMania 33 and he just sort of kept going, he kept hammering it.
Or it could be that they've done a private poll and they've realised that keeping the number there is synonymous with the WrestleMania thing. I don't know. It'd be something only the WWE would know.
Did they go with numbers 3-3 or did they go with Roman numerals?
No, they went with numbers.
They went with 3-3, yeah.
So they go
after 30, I think they just figured that it's kind of like the Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl kind of problem, yeah.
We're going to try and condense 7 hours worth of something we somehow like, and that Caron got back into.
I've got a passing interest in.
Yeah. Overall, personally, I would say I was disappointed. It wasn't a bad WrestleMania, but it was distinctly average. If you were going to put, 11 worst ones, 11 medium ones, 11 best ones, that is very much in the 11 medium ones. Just it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good either.
I agree. There has been worse WrestleManias. I mean, look at the WrestleMania where pretty much all the top stars were injured and they had to get something together really quickly. It still pulled the figures, but you openly saw it wasn't the best.
Yeah.
This one, for me, you've got too much talent. Because you've got 7 hours of wrestling. I know it's not 7 hours fully of wrestling.
Yeah.
You've got so much good talent. He could have done better. I mean, the pre-show is all about getting people to sign up for WrestleMania at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I understand why they put the 3 matches on beforehand, because they were very, very good matches. However, the rest of the card was,
I thought that in some cases they were trying to make the matches too long.
Because the Royal Rumble was your first foray back into it. How
Yes.
do you feel WrestleMania? Because WrestleMania is kind of meant to be
the Super Bowl.
the big.
This is the big dog.
The big event.
Which is why you saw them do the national anthem at the beginning.
Yeah, they do.
And then they do the music halfway through. It's almost like
flyover and all that.
Yeah.
Kind of
the cheesy Americano.
Yeah.
Exactly. In comparison, I think that they'd sold it as being this bigger event. So they had to make it bigger and longer, which meant that they had to give each match more time, but I don't think that they filled all of that time very well.
Yeah.
So I think that there was a lot of gaps between matches and there was a lot of gaps in matches as well, which meant that it wasn't as entertaining for somebody from the outside. I can see how if you were a fan of all of these performers, then you'd enjoy it a lot more. To see all of these big names in one place is definitely a good thing.
Yeah.
But
I think that
put it this way, I was talking to the missus who likes wrestling, which is always a good. good plus. We were looking at like VIP packages for WrestleMania. Now you can be talking that's the Access, NXT, Raw afterwards, and everything. You're looking about including flights and staying. You're looking at about $9,000 or pound, depending.
Yeah.
Would you be happy to pay pretty much £6,000 for you and your partner and getting that type of quality of show compared to if you went and did Royal Rumble?
For what? A few hundred?
Yeah, but even if the price was the same,
If the price was the same,
which would you have picked?
I would have preferred to have seen Royal Rumble.
Yeah. And that's what I thought. I just thought it
But
was...
I think, to be honest, that's the distinction. A Royal Rumble is a better layman watch, as it were. So a Royal Rumble is kind of entertaining for everyone because it's 30 big blokes throwing each other around.
Yeah, true.
WrestleMania is a lot more focused, and it's why you get the real hardcore fans, the guys and girls that are there, and they know what they want, and they know the atmosphere and what it's going to be like, and they're going to kick it up. And
On to the show.
getting into the matches. So I'll start with the kickoff, briefly glimpse over them. First match, Neville, formerly Adrian Neville, from Newcastle, good, solid Geordie lad, versus Austin Aries, he's moderately new to WWE, but he is a lot of people who've known him for years. He's
On the
very
independent circuit, he's fantastic.
Yeah. For me, this is exactly how the cruiserweights should be used. They should open the show. They should put on a great, fast-paced match. Do exactly what these guys did. It was, not meaning to spoil anything for the rest of it, for me, it was the best match on the show. And there was one exceptionally scary bit where...
Is it the Austin Aries bit where he...
the snap German
Yes.
suplex, as it were. So Neville pushes on Austin Aries' back. Austin
so he
Aries'
goes
chest.
first into the ropes.
Yeah, chest against the ropes and bounces back. Adrian Neville, a German suplex, obviously, gripping them from the back, throwing them over your head. And Austin Aries is kind of over-rotated and he has landed square on the top of his head.
Even I, when I were watching it, even I turned around and went, ah!
Yeah.
I mean, the cruiserweight match, seeing the quality of the match compared to the rest of the show should have been on the show. There were huge the fans were firmly behind both. They absolutely ate up the match. It was fantastic. As you said, the snap German onto the head was quite worrying.
The first of a couple of scary moments that happened on
The
this.
thing that I absolutely loved was when Austin Aries did his 450 splash and then into the last chancery with Neville being able to reverse it and then hitting him with a red arrow.
Neville wins. He retains the Cruiserweight Championship. Personally, I've scored all the matches out of 10. Personally, I'd give it an 8 out of 10.
I've done it a different way.
Oh, you've done it the wrong way.
Oh, right. No,
It's not my way, so it's the wrong way.
I've done it as... It was a thumbs up. It was good.
Thumbs up.
That's it, really.
Good.
Next.
Yours is simply good, neutral, or bad. Is that?
Yeah. Well, I'll elaborate why, but you've basically covered everything.
Yeah.
It was a really, really good match, and
Okay.
both of them, they did outstanding work.
Before we move on, then Neville was the champion going into the match.
Correct.
Yes.
And Jolly, your wife, describes him as a horrible little goblin.
No, disgusting little
Sorry,
goblin.
disgusting little goblin.
Yes.
Which I can, if you just look at a picture of me,
Yeah.
you can verify that.
He typifies Newcastle man to me, like ugly little gremlin face, but man, is he hench.
He is very good. How do we feel about him being the winner and still the champion?
Happy. I'm happy. I would have been happy either way. Honestly, I would have preferred Austin Aries won because.
He's a new kid?
But he's done an awful lot to deserve where he is, and I'd quite like to see him get a quote unquote WrestleMania moment.
Yeah.
But Neville deserved one as well.
Whereas, like, I completely agree, but I think it's too early for Aries to get his WrestleMania moment.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. I'd like to think he's going to be there for 4 years minimum. So, look, he's going to do more. Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway,
Next match. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
what a mouthful that is.
Yeah.
Me personally, I was actually surprised by this.
I was fucking shocked. I've even written, did not in a million years guess who would eventually win.
Yes, and I wrote some little bits which
Also,
we'll go on
now,
about it.
Caron, you've obviously not seen this, but
No, I didn't see it.
I believe anyway you should have maybe gathered this from the Royal Rumble, because I believe Titus O'Neil was in that as well.
Yes.
Is it just me, or is he fucking shit at anything where he's got to go over the top rope?
Yeah.
He is just fucking terrible. I'm pretty sure he's afraid of going over. I don't think he knows how to control himself. I've never seen him have a good over-the-top rope style match. It physically aggravates me.
It's almost as if they've gone, right, how many people... I've miscounted, and we need somebody. There's the janitor, there's the guy who hacks the cars, and there's Titus O'Neil. Do you fancy going in?
I mean, a lot of people, I thought this is Braun Strowman's event. He's going to win it, and he's going to push on, and he's going to be like, this is
Well, they talked
thing.
about it ever since from Royal Rumble.
Yeah, and the way that, like, Big Show and Braun Strowman went out really early, but it did make sense. Like, that is how big people should be eliminated.
Everyone put Braun Strowman to win. Everyone thought he was going to do it. Now, him not winning it, is it because they wanted to do that whole swerve? Oh, everyone's talking about him win, so shall we just stick two fingers up at him and do something completely different?
The amount of guys that, you know, quote unquote, should have won it, as each one of them were getting thrown out, and you're thinking like, oh, okay, maybe it's going to be Dolph Ziggler. Nope, Dolph Ziggler's gone. Maybe it's going to be Luke Harper. Nope, Luke Harper's gone.
Oh, can I just quote? Can I just say something?
Yeah.
Luke Harper had a new top.
Yeah, he's black now. Jinder Mahal looks...
And his roadmap of veins.
Yeah, he's fucking vascular. That is a vascular man.
But did you notice that they didn't show the back of him?
For him to be in the last three, I kind of wanted him to win, because it was... The last three in were Killian Dane...
Also known as Big Damo.
I was going to say, probably known as Big Damo in ICW and British wrestling circles.
Yeah.
But obviously, I knew that they weren't going to be putting him up that soon, because Sanity aren't going to be coming up.
No.
So I thought, really right, well, he's not winning. And then the other two left were Jinder Mahal and Mojo Rawley.
My picks were Braun, Big Show, Ziggler. Surprised that Ziggler didn't win.
For me, it was going to be, I thought it'd be
or
Strowman.
Braun.
I thought it was going to be Strowman or Harper. In the end, Mojo Rawley won it. And really, looking back, you should have recognised it by the fact that they showed that NFL footballer.
Yeah.
But that is one of WWE's problems, is they forget that they're a global company. But then, so he came in, he
shoulder tackled.
Yeah, he ran at Jinder Mahal.
Yeah.
Mojo Rawley both hyped and broed, threw people over the top and celebrated. And
ultimately Mojo won.
Yeah, I gave this a 6 out of 10. It was...
For me,
to quote Jim Carrey in Liar Liar, I've had better.
For me, I've put it down as a thumbs up, because I enjoyed it. Yeah. I just didn't like the outcome. I thought they were, especially with the amount of talent they've got and the amount of story writing they can do.
Last match in the kickoff show was I was annoyed at this, was the Intercontinental Championship match, because Dean Ambrose, okay, he's not had the best second half of the year, but as in the wrestling year, obviously going from WrestleMania to WrestleMania. Second half of the year, not that great, admittedly, but the first half of the year, like, thumbs up for Dean Ambrose. He did a lot. It's also really annoying because Baron Corbin this year, he's probably been the best NXT call-up that they've had in a while.
Yeah.
You know, they've had quite a few, but he's really excelled compared to most of the others. And yeah, it's a bit gutting for him, but ultimately, the match was really dull.
It were thumbs up. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't brilliant. I mean, it was. It just felt like a SmackDown Live match.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like it was anything for WrestleMania.
6 out of 10. Dean Ambrose won. Move on to the main card. So
it's WrestleMania.
Yep. New Day, quote unquote, hosts of WrestleMania, dressed up like Final Fantasy characters because there's a tie-in with Final Fantasy 14,
which comes out in June.
You all remember that, but it's not Final Fantasy 14. It's a DLC for it. You all were playing that, right? That's wrestling fans love Final Fantasy, right? Yeah.
Do you know what? I'd prefer them if they just came out in a box of cereal like they did last year.
Yeah. I also never want to hear Michael Cole say the word Moogle again, please.
God.
I do actually like Final Fantasy, and I don't want those two worlds crossing over.
Do you know what? For me, I wish Michael Cole and JBL just went away, because...
I just wish Michael Cole was not interfered with so much. If you watched him on, like, the UK... the
championships
UK
with
Nigel McGuinness.
Nigel McGuinness, yeah.
Did exactly what a commentator should do. It was spot on, but he's just fed shit. So if you're fed shit, you're going to shit.
You're going to speak shit, yeah. I know what you mean. You're going to shit, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, first match was the phenomenal AJ Styles versus Shane McMahon.
I'm surprised that they put this match on first thing.
Literally the first thing I've written, surprised this opened.
Great minds think alike.
Yeah. It makes me worry more than it does you. I thought it would be the SmackDown women's match that went on first.
Shane McMahon, for all he is, dear God, can Shane work a match? Right, okay. Shall we go back to that?
Partially disagree over here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pre-show, Dean Ambrose and Baron Corbin. There we go. He works better than them two. He knows that. For me, he knows how to work the crowd. He knows what to do, and he goes above and beyond what he's supposed to do because he isn't a wrestler.
2001, I'd agree with you. 2017, I just don't. For me, this needs to be the last time he wrestles.
Yes.
He wrestles way too sloppily. Just simple takedowns looked really awkward.
He is a glorified stuntman.
Well, I was just going to say, the stuff he does, the bumps he takes, the way that he falls, it's too dangerous sometimes. It's not. He's in his 40s. He's not a young man. I fucking hate those rabbit punches.
Yeah.
They're just
It's part of his repertoire now.
Towards the end of the match, him taking that Styles clash, when we've seen what we've seen,
Yeah.
even though it was only one-armed, and him then going on to do a shooting star press. Next year, AJ Styles needs... For me... Next year, he needs to be in a title match. Of some kind. Or some kind of mass tag match, which is like a Bullet Club versus somebody. Caron, Royal Rumble, you were quite impressed with AJ Styles versus John Cena. Bravado. How do you feel the second AJ Styles match now compares to that?
Okay, I get it. AJ Styles is a big deal. He's had a lot of experience.
Yeah.
But it seems that this was him having a strop.
Right.
It feels like he said, I want a match at WrestleMania.
Okay.
And they were like, okay, cool, we can get somebody. And they got Shane McMahon. And it had to be somebody he could beat.
Now, that's a very interesting take, because I would see it in a slightly different way.
And like I say, I get it. He's got this kind of pedigree outside of the WWE, but it does feel a bit like tacked on.
See, I actually see it as being the WWE said, shit, AJ Styles needs a WrestleMania match. We'll get someone.
We'll get someone.
7 out of 10. It was still AJ Styles. It was a bad AJ Styles match, but it was still a decent match. So
it was a bad AJ Styles match, but not because AJ Styles is bad. For me, I enjoyed it, but completely agree with you.
Next match was Chris Jericho versus Kevin Owens.
Love it! Yeah!
Oh, no.
Check out my Facebook page, because he's with me.
He is indeed. When he was formerly Kevin Steen.
Yes.
Thoroughly bloody lovely bloke.
Yeah, he was.
This was the US title match, and this kind of had the best story coming into it.
Yeah, it certainly had the background going into it.
Of the betrayal, the friendship. Oh, were they really ever friends? Oh, Kevin, why you do?
How did you find it? You know, obviously you've seen it from the Royal Rumble build going all the way through, and
because obviously at that time they were still buddies.
They were still best friends, and
he's helped. And
Jericho was locked in a cage, and
Kevin.
Kevin. So the storyline was great, and it was kind of inevitable because
it always is.
Yeah,
because it has to happen that way. Like it's about men fighting each other, so there has to be a reason for them to fight. They can't always be best friends, can they?
No.
So yeah, that was great. As for the match itself, it was pretty good. I lost it there.
I liked
it. Was pretty okay.
It was okay, yes. It was pretty good, actually. I like that when they have these matches, I like when they have these matches that they try to get each other to use each other's signature moves as kind of an insult.
When
Owens is putting Jericho in the walls of Jericho, you're like, there you go, that's an insult. Haha, look, I'm doing a move on you.
And it's almost like a slap in the face, especially if you lose to your own finisher.
move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked they played up on the angle of them knowing each other really well by having a sequence of just quite fluid counters that like rolled off each other. So someone try a hold or a grip and then move on to the next person, and they back and forth for a couple of minutes. That was like technically really good to watch.
For me, I was surprised that Jericho took control from the start. Pretty much for the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, he did, didn't
he just dominated Owens.
I really like the fact that they brought Jericho's countdown back for this.
And an inflatable list of Jericho. That was awesome.
Really good. Something, I'd noticed it in the previous matches, but I thought, oh, maybe it'll stop. I could keep hearing the cameras squeaking, especially the one that's on the skyline.
Right.
I know I have these weird little gripes, but it really fucking annoys me.
I mean, the one highlight I liked about it was the fact that Owens with one finger on the rope.
Oh my god.
That was...
Could that have been more contrived?
I loved that.
I just thought it was just awesome. It's just Owens all over. I just loved it, yeah.
That's all Owens needs is one finger. And that saves him.
Yeah, overall, it was what you'd call a standard match for the both of them, but that just means that it was one of those matches that took its time to breathe. They didn't elongate anything, they didn't rush anything.
It was a solid match. It was good from both of them.
Kevin Owens wins.
And he's now the US.
Yeah, now the US Championship. Won it with a powerbomb to the ring apron. The hardest part of the ring! As we all know. I give it a 7.5 out of 10.
As I said, I thought it was a solid match. Out of all of them so far, including the pre-shows, that's my favourite match.
Then it was the Raw Women's Championship. So Sasha Banks versus Nia Jax versus Charlotte versus Bayley. 4-way elimination style. When I saw that this match was here, I immediately knew that the SmackDown Women's Championship match was in the piss break spot.
Yeah.
So I could see that coming. When you look back, this should have been the point where Bayley won the belt.
Yes.
She should have been constantly getting her ass kicked by Charlotte.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
they
then
should be the last two.
Exactly. And then, Charlotte's been beating her all these times. She's kept up a winning streak at pay-per-views. Then this is finally it. This is where Bayley wins. This is the feel-good moment.
Yes.
But that's not what happened.
No.
So it was just felt very.
I was
much
very
a damp
surprised
squib.
with how it went.
What I also this match brought up was how much I don't like open air stadiums for wrestling.
Yes.
Because I think Bayley got a good reaction, but
it didn't hear it.
Was it?
I'm not sure.
Is it a quiet crowd or is that sound just completely escaping?
There was a bigger crowd with the Austinairies and Neville as in reaction when they came out. It was almost as if, as you said, they've either turned it down or people are like, yeah, we're not bothered about you.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't... It's mixed messages. It's either a poor atmosphere or they're not behind it. Also, what this match brings up is Raw has a bigger roster. They have more people to choose from than SmackDown does.
Yeah.
Yet they've got less women that are actually able to vie for the title.
Yeah.
You could argue they may be better quality, but...
You mean like they don't use Lana and... yeah.
They don't... They just don't have... Like the other people. SmackDown has a lot more strength in depth in terms of the women.
Me personally, looking over the whole brand of it, you should have SmackDown and Raw champions.
Yeah.
Okay. You should have the women's division on SmackDown and Raw, but
let them
like they used to do years ago, where you'd have the champion come on to Raw and defend. Say, for instance, Bayley 1 week would be on Raw, then 2 weeks later she'd be on SmackDown challenging, and then you'd have. And it flicked between them both. Same with the tag championships. You've got a group of people that are fantastic, but if you've only got 5 teams, or same like you've only got, because I'm not going to include
Dana Brooks.
Dana Brooks, she's too green. So at the moment you've got
Super Green.
Your whole women's division is in the ring.
Fifth Element quotes.
Yes.
You fucking know Fifth Element.
Your whole women's division is in the ring. That shouldn't be right. Bayley should have won today. On WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I am very surprised with the outcome, with how it ended.
Okay.
I loved the 3-on-1 building up to get rid of your hardest opponent, the one that's going to possibly take over from everyone else.
Yeah.
Charlotte.
Charlotte, that corkscrew moonsault she did, that was ballsy and brilliant at the same time.
Well, look at what she does at Royal Rumble and Fastlane and any show that she does when she does her moonsault off the top rope, off the turnbuckle.
There's also another scary spot, the double suplex. I think it was Sasha and Bailey on Nia.
Yeah.
On Nia, yeah.
And god damn, she didn't land that well. No. That was not a good one. Again, if she lands on her neck, she's got a lot of weight behind her.
Going down, yeah.
She is dead.
Jax, I would have thought, would be the first to be eliminated, which she obviously was. I was
Japan.
surprised Sasha was eliminated next because of what they're wanting to possibly do with her.
Could have instigated the turn.
Yeah. Obviously, Charlotte got eliminated last.
Yeah.
I like the fact that she used her Macho Man elbow drop from the top turnbuckle to win. Did Bailey?
Yeah.
Yep.
I give this match 6 out of 10. Putting down women's wrestling can be better. Very meh.
Women's wrestling could be better. Look at NXT.
Bailey wins, retains the belt on the jolly scale.
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs
Yeah.
up.
No.
Where are you putting those thumbs? Because that's the only reason there's
thumbs up
2
what?
of them.
Well, with my fascination over Charlotte. No, I enjoyed it. Overall, I thought it was an enjoyable match. They could have done better. I completely agree with you. But yeah.
Cool. After that came the Hall of Fame recap, all the guys out on stage and the girl.
Yeah.
I actually, now, Caron, this may not mean much to you, but I feel it was probably the best quality to quantity ratio Hall of Fame because everybody that was there deserved to be there and there was no one...
Holla, holla, holla.
No, honestly, deserved to be there for what he's done.
Yeah.
It-
No,
it's
I'm not saying that to disparage.
There was
I thought,
no filler, nobody like a, Coco Beware, what have you.
yeah. I
It was
actually
very-
enjoyed that. Yeah.
Very, very good. However, again, I don't know if it's just me that picks up on these little things, but some of the camera work in that was absolutely terrible. They just missed so much stuff.
You mean like at the beginning where it said DDP, and as he came up to do that, the camera just all of a sudden shot to a crowd, and then came back, and it was almost like, oh, you've just missed me. Oh.
Yeah, for no reason, just suddenly shooting away, and they did it throughout the night. It's not like you've not had 33 times to practice this and know what the fuck you're doing. Just some really odd...
But that is the guy in the production room. That's not the cameraman. That's someone going...
Caron, did you actually know anybody from the Hall of Fame?
I knew maybe 2
Okay, which 2?
names.
Kurt Angle?
Kurt Angle I knew.
I thought you were going to say the Rock and Roll Express. I was like, what?
How? Who was the other
With
one?
his eye looking
I
the
can't
other
even
way.
remember. I remember watching that segment and barely paying attention.
Yeah, and going, oh, yeah, these people.
Oh, okay, cool.
And
When did we get back to the wrestling?
And the man in the suit that looks like 5 times bigger than him going, holla, holla, holla.
Yeah, the tiny
Teddy
little black
Long.
guy. And then we move on to the 3-way, or is it, Tag Team Championship ladder match for Raw, which is between Anderson and Gallows, who I think are now called the Good Brothers. It's very confusing. They're Cesaro and Sheamus, who they've grown on me, and I think they've grown on a lot of people.
Yeah.
And Enzo and Big Cass.
And then... Da-da-da-da.
Well, then, before, everybody's all ready to go, the 3 teams are all there, and whoa, wait a minute, it's your boys, the New Day.
Yes, it is.
Woo!
Indeed. And they're going to interject because, it looks like there's actually going to be a 4th team added in.
Of which all the arena knew who it
Oh,
was.
yeah. If I hadn't have been told... I probably would have assumed it was going to be the New Day because I thought this team was still the Ring of Honor.
Yeah, as you said, if social media didn't exist, exactly what you've just said there.
And this was where it showed that it might be an open air stadium, but maybe the crowd just didn't give a fuck about that women's match because out come the Hardy Boys, a remnant of glory days past,
with their original music. I think if they were ever going to give them new music, it wouldn't be at WrestleMania because if you put new music on someone like that, no one would know who they are. However, if you hear Brock Lesnar's music, everyone's going to go, shit, it's Brock Lesnar, you know what it is. Hardy's music hit.
The actual match, solid ladder match, I have no issues with it. This would actually be my one, for the main show, this is definitely match of the night. Corey Graves also, I think he's really coming to his own on commentary. He's always great, and you can just you can taste how much his character hates Enzo.
Yeah.
And
it's so it's glorious.
It is glorious. It's almost contagious. I want to hate Enzo as much as Corey Graves does. It's just brilliant. Everything. There's honestly, it's just one of those matches that I think you should just watch. It ends as it did
as
with
you would expect.
suicidal Jeff Hardy spot, which is mandatory. Jeff Hardy in a ladder. He's just got to try and murder himself for no reason.
It's like the equivalent of having seen a baby and a cage. It's like they have to do it. They have to try and climb over it. They have to be all over it.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. I wondered where that was going.
You knew what I mean? Like
putting a
baby doll cage. You know, one of those where they
Right.
can't get when you want them to not walk in, but you can.
If I ever have a child, please remind me never to let you babysit. You weird man.
In fact, I'm actually good with children.
I didn't think they'd win it.
I thought they were going to be involved after the match. As in, like, for instance, the club win. Yay, we've won a ladder match. We're the best. And then the Hardys music hit and go, hang on a minute, we're the best at ladders. We'll have you at a later date.
Yeah.
That type of thing. I wouldn't have thought the Hardys would get involved straight away. And especially, as you said, I would not have thought that they would win the belts. However, as for viewers, it's a good thing putting the belts on the Hardys because everyone knows the Hardys.
Jeff tries to commit suicide, throws himself through Cesaro, hits Sheamus a little bit with his legs, which I'm sure Sheamus is very thankful of. He's not had a good time with ladders.
No.
Matt Hardy climbs up. They're the new tag team champions. 8 out of 10. Straight up and down.
I think this, for me, for the card so far, sits in line with the top. That and Jericho with Owens are the best 2 matches so far, including the pre-show.
Yeah. Had you seen a ladder match before, do you think?
Yeah, there's been ladder matches.
I mean, how does this kind of look to... you're not really an outsider anymore, but, you know, how does it... Is this kind of the level of excitement that you were looking for, do you think?
Yeah. Do you think that...
I agree.
Is there room for a ladder? Is a ladder
I
match?
agree this was a very good match. The Hardy Boys I'd heard of before, which was nice to have them coming back in. Yes, actually, if you'd like, but not while we're recording.
Team Extreme, you've heard it.
I'm getting desperate. What can I say?
That's us as well, not just the Hardys.
If anybody would like details for either Caron Borbin or Olaf Bathtime. Olaf Bathtime, he's a little bit fizzier. You can put him in a bath and he'll fizz gently.
I don't want to have fizz in my hand.
Then please let us know.
Contact us by email.
He doesn't care. He'll take your number. Carry on.
We're talking about ladder matches. I like the match. It is exciting. They've got this added element of danger.
Yeah.
You've got to be whatever it is, 15, 20 feet off the mat.
Again, inverted commas.
When you see Jeff Hardy climb that ladder on the outside and he's fearless and you're thinking, holy shit, I don't think I could even walk to the top of that, let alone stand on top of it.